Man, oh man, it feels so good because Journo's Comics is officially back live. No, what's going on, everyone? We got folks already here. I was going to start yelling and screaming. I'm still sick. I've been sick, but I'm here today. I wanted to do a video. I said, you know what? I haven't gone live in so long on my channel. I'm starting to get back into the swing of things. And I got off of work and I said, I'm just going to do a live show. So we're going to talk about some. I'm going to do my best to get through it. I got me some water ready to go. Folks already here. Michael, what's going on? Marvel Decoded. Tony's in the house. Guys, let's take a few minutes to let some folks get in. And I mean, what better way for me to get back into doing lives without talking about CGC? I mean, it's beautiful. God, this feels so good. So, I won't take too much time talking about this. Let me give a few little updates. Many of you know that follow my channel. I've been saying this. It's been a crazy 4.5 months for me. Life is crazy. I'm not going to get all emotional, but it took me out of this. But I'm back and I'm working on really getting back into the swing of things, but at the same time, kind of re-evaluating where I'm going with the channel. But I greatly appreciate everyone that stuck with me. There will be more new content coming each week, more and more as I get back into it. All right. I promise you guys that. More live shows again like this, talking about things that we as collectives obviously care about. Junior, what's going on? Brendan's hanging out, raising him. What's up, guys? So I do want to let everyone know that I do have a Whatnot sale this Friday. It's currently scheduled for 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to start a half an hour early at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. It's going to be primarily variants. I'm going to have some quality variants, some exclusives that are valued over $10, $15, $20, probably with start bids at like $5, but I'm going to have some more value variants that are going to probably be worth $5 and up. That'll start, as low as like $2 starting bids. It's going to be fun. I am going to have a little bit of Silver Age and Bronze Age Marvel in DC as well during the show, just to mix it up. But if you guys love variants, for whatever reason, this is going to be the show. Again, follow me on Whatnot. My link is below. Louis. All right, so there is that, guys. I'm starting to get back into the swing of things with comic book. You guys are still supporting the show. Right now, the show is back on Sundays at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Of course, we have a new official co-host, 360 Comics, Joe. He started out filling in for me when I was going through my stuff. I think we're keeping him around. All right, so I had a pleasure of hopping in there last Sunday, hanging out for about an hour. I hope to pop in this Sunday again. I don't know. This weekend's kind of busy for me. We'll see. I want to get back into doing my props or flops. A lot of good things, man. Like I said, it's been over 4 months, guys, that I've been without you all, and it's good to be here today. So, what else? If you guys have any quick questions, let me know before we get into the CGC topic of discussion. I do want to remind my Patreon members that have stuck with me through these last few months. You guys, from the bottom of my heart, you have nothing but love for me, in adoration. I will be doing our live Q&A, which is basically for the past couple of months, this month in April. I'm planning on probably doing it next week. Fingers crossed. I'll keep all of you guys posted. Of course, that will be live for everyone to view, but we do the Patreon questions live. So that's how that goes. Nut Tech, what's going on? Good to see you too. So let's take 2 more minutes before we get into the main topic of discussion. I'll tell you guys, I've been kind of out of the loop. I spent 4 months not buying a single comic book, not being savvy to what's been going on in the market. But just as of late, over these last few weeks, I've kind of, put my eyes and ears to it a little more to get a caught up on what's been going on. Obviously, we know that the state of the world is something right now. The economy, finances, costs of everything increasing. We're talking about that today with CGC. It's absolutely nuts, man. I mean, food is crazy, folks. I don't know about you guys, but like, it's, oh, I mean, first off, you can fast food is costing like what it used to be just to sit out at like a decent restaurant. But the price of food in the grocery store has more than doubled over the last like 18 months. And it's nuts. We're living in a crazy world right now. So how does that affect us all as comic book collectors? Really hard when it affects our wallet, right? All right, all right. Where is your Dodger hat? I will rock any hat because I like to color coordinate. I don't care what team you are. I will rock it. I will rock it. You guys see me rocking all different kind of hats. The one hat I will not rock is a Dodgers hat. Never in my life will you see me wearing a Dodgers hat. That's on my mama. All right? Swag. What's going on? All right, thank you. Big shout out to Swaggle Haas, man. Still doing his thing. Zilla. Yeah, we'll keep that talk out of here, man. Look, you know, that ain't what we're about here right now. Because I'll tell you what, this country is a goddamn mess right now. So let's not go there. Let's not go there. And I ain't playing into the freaking red and blue gang banging crap right now. We're not talking about that. We're banging against comic book grading companies. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna get into it. Comic book Chris, I clean CGC as long as the market value CGC slash 20% higher versus the greater. Chris, yeah, you're just telling it how it is. Here we go. Let's talk about it, folks. CGC raises their prices again. Now, my question to you guys is this, and you can put yes or no in the chat. Do you think this is now going to be an annual occurrence? CGC and CBCS to follow suit probably. Do you think that they are now going to be raising their prices annually? We are going to bring something into the screen real quick here. Como! I'm so happy right now. We're going to bring in the prices. So CGC made an announcement this morning saying that we are once again raising our prices. I think basically you need to have all of your orders, your order forms submitted by May 2nd. And then I believe those orders need to be received, like scanned in to the warehouse by, I believe, June 1st. So if you're like me, who's been sitting on 2 years of, membership credits, I better send it in because I'm going to be paying more money if I don't over these next couple of weeks. I've had books sitting. I haven't even sent them in for 2 years. 2 years. Harlot prices are going up everywhere with everything. We get a lot of Brad says, yeah, he thinks that these price increases are going to be an annual thing. Patrick's, I don't like the 150 minimum fee on the new unlimited tier. Yeah, what we're going to talk about that. Yes, because they're big. I think you meant to say corporations, right? Yeah, Tony. So let's look at actually what's going on here. All right. You got your current modern tier that is at $34, which over the last couple of years has gone up $6 for members. Remember, it was at $18. So it's already gone up $6. That's 33% over the last couple of years. And now it's going up to 35. All right. Or excuse me. I'm so stupid. 25. $24 to 25. So it's only going up $1. So for all of your modern books that are worth under $400, the $400 tier, they're only going up $1. So that's not too hard to stomach, but it's still a lot. It adds up. If you're sending 20 books in, that's an extra $20 out of your pocket. Money's tight right now for a lot of us. There you go. All right. Your economy tier, which is now the vintage tier, it's going up from $35 to $37. So again, not crazy, but remember that price has already gone up a lot over the last couple of years. $2 more, you're sending in 20 bucks, you're paying an extra 40 bucks. That's money in the pocket, money in your pocket, man. That's not going to be there anymore. All right, but here's where it starts to get kind of messy. The standard tier goes from $80 to $85. So that's any book that sits in, it doesn't matter the age, the era. If your book is valued above 400 but below 1,000, you were paying 80 bucks, you're going to be paying $5 more. So if you're sending in 20 bucks, wow, that's another $100. Did I say 20 bucks? I meant to say 20 books. Extra $5 per book, right? That's an extra $100 for 20 books for your standard tier. Now it gets even worse. And this is a little bit muddy here, guys. We don't really know exactly, or I'm going to tell you why I don't know if they're giving all of the proper information here. Let me read some comments before I say. Holy Harlot says, you can always say it's worth less, but here's the thing, Holy Harlot. CGC evaluates the value of each book you send in on their own. And if they feel that that book is valued for more than, like, say I submit books in the excuse me, in the economy tier, right? And I'm paying $35. Well, now I'm going to be paying $37 for them, right? And I say it's valued at $390. And they look at it and they say, nope, this book's valued at $480. You know what they're going to do? They're going to hit me with almost 45 plus more dollars, because they're going to put it in that $85 standard tier and they're going to bill me the difference. So that's why you guys have to be very careful when valuing your books. And remember, it is the raw value. It's the raw value, not the value that you think it's going to be at in a graded 4.0 or 9.8, etc. But they can do that to you, and they will do that to you. So be very careful. Now, let's look at the biggest increase here that might piss off collectors. The express tier is going to be discontinued, which means anything that's right above that $1,000 mark is going into what they're calling the unlimited value tier now. So the express tier was basically any comic book that had $1,000 to basically $3,000 value. It was $130 for those books. So now those books are increasing by $20. Those books are increasing by $20. But here's where the information gets muddied. The only unlimited tier they had before was a walkthrough tier. Now, they didn't clarify if this new unlimited value tier is going to be different than walkthrough tier, and I do believe it is. I don't think they're going to force people to do a walkthrough with these. I just don't think they were clear with that. And because the walkthrough tier was an unlimited value, was unlimited value, I can't see them doing that. But I don't know. I mean, who in their right, as a company that's milking every penny that they can get, I don't think they're gonna lose out on people being able to send in their books by mail that are worth over $1,000. I don't think they're gonna do that. I just think they're grabbing you for 20 extra bucks. Or excuse me, not 1,000, above 1,000. That's 1,000 to $3,000. That's what would be in that tier. Because remember, the standard tier goes up to 1,000. All right. I don't think those are just going to be walkthrough. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Express was $89 each. Como, it's crazy. It's crazy. Brandon, also, if you submit a $1,000 book and say it's 100 and it gets lost or damaged, yes, that's another good reason to value your books properly. Because if something happens, you want to be able to get the value that they're worth back via that insurance. Absolutely, Brendan. Okay. So, who wants to hear my thoughts on this? Get some water. We broke it down. $1 increase on those modern books, $2 increase on the, economy that's now going to be called vintage. I hate them using that word too. I hate that they're calling it a vintage tier. I'm not going to get into why that is right now. But here's my thoughts, folks. Here are my thoughts. I'm not mad at CGC. I'm not mad at them whatsoever for this. I am not mad at them whatsoever. And some people may say, well, everything's increasing, inflation. I'm gonna say I'm not mad at them, but I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, this ain't because of inflation. It's not because of inflation. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm going to tell you guys a little something right now with inflation. Modern inflation is BS. Do you know that, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, maybe a lot of you believe this. Oh, well, if we raise the minimum wage, it's going to raise the cost of goods. Do you know that that's complete and utter BS? And I'll explain why. If you give consumers, the labor force are consumers. So if you give the labor force more money, right? What are they going to do? They're going to consume more. What does more consumption do for businesses, right? It generates more revenue. What can companies do with more revenue? They can, and usually do, increase profits and increase production. Let me give you the perfect reason of why raising wages does not increase labor. At least what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a little rusty. First live in 4 months, guys. In a correlative fashion, right? They don't directly correlate with one another. It's because of this. Check this out. McDonald's raises their minimum wage, right? Now, they're taking in their revenue, and more of it has to go into a fixed cost, which is their labor. Yes. But once that labor force becomes consumers, what do? They spend that money back into companies like McDonald's. So now McDonald's is able to make more money off of more money being put into the economy. And once more money comes in, then they're bringing in higher revenues, which they can do two things or both things usually. Increase profits. And what else can they do? They can produce more. They can put more into their production. The higher the demand goes up, right? Because what happens when people have more money to spend? Demand goes up because more people want it. I got money, I want it. You saw that happen. You saw that happen with comic books. But the difference with comic books is this. When the demand for certain comic books goes up, can you produce more comic books? No. Oh, shoot, look at all these people buying all these key books. Let's just make more to help supply the demand. You can't do that. But oh, shoot, more people have money. They're buying more Big Macs. What can we do? Produce more Big Macs. You see how that works? You got in the industry service, the food service, the services that we offer, services and goods. More often than not, they are a product or a service that if more money is coming in because of a higher demand, it can allow a higher input back into the economy for the consumers to consume. The biggest indicator of why inflation overall is a BS farce. You want to know how you look at it? By looking at a company's freaking financial documents, profit margins. We are supposedly raising prices due to inflation, yet profit margins are increasing exponentially. It's the biggest freaking sham they're telling us and selling us. Holy harlot, there's two sides to this. Automation, yes, in a way, can be killing certain jobs, but they're creating different jobs. The more automation that companies use, the more tech jobs are being made, for one, right? So that's kind of a good thing if you think about it. But I think overall, holy harlot, to your point, we want service jobs being delivered by human beings still to a certain extent. We don't want everything to be so, technologically advanced to where we get to a point that everything becomes so automated. And look, the workforce in Silicon Valley can't support, the larger population. So it can become a problem as we continue on this route for sure. Comic Book Chris, raise the minimum wage to $50. What will happen? So, Comic Book Chris, this right here though is, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. So, to answer your question, a company can't just simply raise a wage to minimum wage. That's not feasible. You got to be realistic. All right. You got to be realistic. Yeah, exactly, Brendan. All we want is living wages, but I don't want to get sidetracked to get into like the political side of all of this. And this is the whole thing too here too with CGC and everything. We're talking about economics, guys. We're talking about economics, and economics is so easily politicized when it doesn't need to. You guys, there's probably people who are Democratic and liberal or conservative and Republican, maybe they're libertarian or independent that are watching this live right now. And I'm here to tell you, stop listening to what they're feeding you. All of them. Stop listening to the Democrats, the Republicans. I don't care. Because I'm sitting here talking to you as a businessman. This is economics. We don't need to politicize it so we can get votes for, one extreme or the next. The bottom line is that while inflation is real to a certain extent and affects different industries and different goods in a certain way, big industries are seeing their profit margins increase exponentially at a rate that we have never seen in the history of mankind. So, what is my point? My point is answering the question, why is CG doing this? It's not because of inflation. It's not because of the devaluing of the dollar, which is still very concerning right now. It's not because of anything other than the fact that they can. And what is a business in business to do? Make money. I'm not mad at them. A business is sitting down looking at their books. They're sitting at their board meetings and they're saying, they're looking at all their analytics and everything that runs through their algorithms. And they're saying, if we increase this service by $1 and this service by $2 and this service by $5 and this service by $20, we can project that we will make more money on our bottom line, profit margin. I'm not mad at them because they can. Why can they? Why can they do this, guys? Why? Is it because they're a crooked corporation? Is it because they're greedy? No, it's not. It's because of all of you. Now, let me not put everyone in a box because maybe some of you have never paid CGC a dime. I have. I'm guilty. The reason why they are doing it is because of all of you who spend money on CGC or who spend money on CGC books. That's why they can. That's why they can. It's that simple. Because you all have the power and you give it to them. You give CGC the power to sit down, to have sat down now 3 times over the last 2 years. You've given them the power to sit down 3 times over the last 2 years and say, yep, we can raise prices because they're going to keep spending money. It's that simple. Because they can. Starbucks has raised their prices about 5 times over the last 18 months. 5 times. You think it's because cost of goods are going up and inflation? Well, yes, actually, cost of goods has gone up. But if you look at the percentage, they're not just eating costs. Look at their books. Look at their quarterly statements. Their profit margins are increasing. And even in this economy, Starbucks stock is up about 18% over the last couple of months. That's huge. Oh, by the way, Blackstone stock is up 5% today. Blackstone stock's up 5% today. That's a good solid amount. If you guys don't know stock markets, 5%, that's a good amount for one day. So now, where are all books going to be more popular than CGC books because of this? Junior, I don't know exactly what I mean. So raw books are going to be okay. So, and I know I saw a couple people make a videos. Are raw books going to be? I don't really want to get into that yet right now. I want to get back to the power that we as collectors have, and why I'm not mad at CGC. We could throw a fit. We could call them greedy. We could say they're crooked and all this stuff. But in reality, they're doing what they should do as a business. And remember now, they are part of Blackstone, so they have publicly traded stock. They have stockholders and shareholders that they need to impress. And while that may be disappointing to us because it's hurting our pockets, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing as a public traded company. I am not mad at them whatsoever. And if you guys have spent a dime on either submitting books to CGC or simply buying CGC books, and you're mad at this, look in the mirror and be mad at yourselves. I love you all. I love you guys. I'm just being real because that's all I can be. That's the one thing that will never change about me. I go away for 4 months. I don't care. If you are frustrated by this and God dang it again, look in the mirror and blame yourself. if you've given them a dime of your money. Now, here's what's sad about this, because we have the power to change things. And I say this all the time. The comic book community has thousands and thousands and thousands of people worldwide. But we are more than capable of changing the market and changing things more than we may know. Do you know what pisses me off the most about this? The same people that are going, and I've seen it already, like I said in the title, already there's people on social media, on Facebook, etc., lashing out. Oh, see, did you see this? See, did you see that? But what are they going to do? Two things. One, they're going to go right back and give them their money. But two, these same people that are so mad at CGC, that are stomping their fists, that are stomping their feet, pumping their fists, throwing temper tantrums, they're the same people that when somebody brings up a company like EGS, is going to sit there and shun EGS. They're going to laugh at EGS, say, oh, who's EGS? Oh. They're going to be the same people. Pause. Raising home. Thank you. Welcome back, Chris. Miss you doing live shows, new videos of Comic Book Canon. Much love. Oh, I'm so happy right now. This is great. CGC turnaround times are better, guys. I'm not talking about turnaround times right now. Nobody can argue turnaround times right now. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you. Guys, the same people that are mad about this are going to be the same people that are going to shun a company like EGS. Because DC. And look, we could sit here and talk about CBCS at all, but as of right now, CGC and CBCS are doing the same thing. I asked earlier in the show, who thinks that this is going to be an annual thing from now on? Some of you said yes. I honestly think it's going to be an annual thing. I believe CGC is going to increase their prices annually. And I believe CBCS is going to follow suit. I think it's inevitable. Absolutely. So, you want to get mad at the big two. You want to collect CGC books, or excuse me, you want to collect graded books. Then do something about it. Either stop giving them your money until things change, or go support a company. Go support a company that right now is nowhere near CGC or CBCS, but that can possibly give them a run for their money if we continue to speak with our purchasing power. Now, this isn't a commercial for EGS. Look, if you think PGX still has legs to stand on, go support them. I will never give them a dime, and I will never buy a pre-graded book from them unless it's like a freaking still of a, don't trust anything that they do. Or go start your own grading company. I mean, look, Tony Trombetta did it. And he's still here a few years later. And though, I mean, he's climbed a long way in an impenetrable industry. And he's still doing it. He's like the little engine that could with EGS. He's got his own proprietary cases that are technically his first gen cases. And they're better than 4th gen C cases, in my humble opinion. I mean, they sit right there close to the current cases of the big two. All I'm saying, guys, you've created the beast. You have created the beast. You've created the market, and that's just how it is. Supply and demand. You guys continue to supply them with your books day in and day out. Your demand for this company to put your comic books in a piece of plastic and put a number on them that they still have yet to be completely transparent about is freaking, I mean, it's almost like thirsting in the desert for water. Don't be mad at anyone but yourselves. The same reason why Starbucks can raise their drink prices 5 times in less than 2 years is why CGC and CBCS are doing this. It's the name of the game. You're making them money. I got nothing more to say on it, guys. Nothing more to say. I think it's going to be an annual thing. I think the majority of people that are going to complain are going to be those that keep sending them their money and that are going to keep rejecting a company like EGS, and it's that simple. And they're going to sit and they're going to ignore the fact that they are the only ones with the power to do anything about it. They're going to jump on social media. They're going to cry and complain. But they're not going to do anything truly to change things. I disagree 100%. I disagree 100%. I do believe that CGC actually, I mean, they built a new facility. They invested, they got Blackstone to come in to put money down, and they handled their business. They put their money where their mouth was when it came to turnaround times. Now, don't get me wrong, submissions may be down a little bit than maybe say the peak of COVID, simply because of the economy. But believe me, they're not down like that to where it's affecting turnaround time. Turnaround time is down because they figured out what they needed to do and they put their money where their mouth is, and I give them that. And if you are mad about this, go buy CBCS books for the same price as CGC. Otherwise, nothing will change. Everything else has gone up except my money. Nope, I'm not debating anything. Like I said, it's just I just used EGS as one example. As an example how hypocritical people are, or how not even hypocritical, but how counterproductive people are. People are completely counterproductive when it comes to complaining about things. Lisa, buying an inferior product isn't the fix. So this is all subjective. The only thing that makes CGC superior by perception is the value that it gets on the secondary market. Lisa, and I'm saying this humbly, and you know me, you watched me for a long time, appreciate you. Have you actually held an EGS case in your hand? That is their new Gen 1 proprietary cases. Because the only thing that makes CGC cases superior is that they do, I don't have any near me, they do have that second inner well for the label. That's something that I hope to see EGS do in the near future. But do you know what makes EGS cases superior over CGC cases? They're 99% UV protected. Now, what about the grading? Because that's so important. How can anybody tell me that CGC's grading is superior to EGS's when nobody even knows how CGC grades their books, and I have basically an 8.0 that they gave me a 9.8 that has like 6 or 7 spine ticks on it? I don't want to show it again because I released the video twice. The only this idea that CGC is so inferior is simply because they get more money on the market, only because they've been around the longest. Now, if it's your personal opinion to say, well, I like their cases and I trust their grading, and that's why I think CGC is superior, then I can't stray you away from that. That's your opinion. But there is no quantifiable or qualifiable, should I say, there is no qualifiable data that can say that CDC or even CBCS is inferior to EGS or to each other. It's all subjective. Picking and digging, CGC, CBCS, comments, PSA. The juggernauts will increase prices annually, and new startups will pop up for small pieces of pie with small resale value. Well, we're already seeing that. I mean, we've seen that forever, though. We've seen over the last 23 years these small little companies that pop up. I can't even remember the names of them. There was one out of Australia for a while. There was one out of the UK. Great comic grading companies that they just didn't last. So we'll see. We'll see. CBCS and CGC have quality control probs. CBC labels slide around CGCS plastic pieces inside casings. Absolutely true. And how many people are getting their CGC books back cracked? Like whole orders? It's crazy. I'm scared to send my stuff out. Comic Book Chris, you know what? They might. You never know. You never know. That wouldn't just turn people away, that would ruin them. And that's why I don't get into the big conspiracy theories of, oh, they're manipulating grades for, like, I don't get into it, because if anything ever got out, it wouldn't just turn people away, it would ruin them. So, you never know, though. Yep, very true. Anybody not raising prices is losing money. It's losing money. And hey, I know if you were in that position, would you want to lose money? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. E-Dub, how dare they try to make money? Jesse, might sound dumb, but somebody has to say it. A lot of nonsense books get sent in to be graded. This causes long wait times for everyone. Raising prices will make people think twice about what they send. Okay, first off, you can't sit and cry about wait times because people want to send in a book that is worth $1. Look, some people like to have a comic book with a grade in a plastic case. Maybe that $1 book means something to them. But Jesse, I will say you are right. Raising prices might make people think twice about what they're sending in for sure. Oh man, this book isn't really worth that much. Do I really want to spend this much money now? I don't know. So you're right there. BGS had a grading scandal. I'm not familiar with that. If you'd like to send me more information on that, I would love to hear more about that. Rick, make money, but at a certain point, the cost versus potential profit just isn't worthwhile. You're right. That's cost benefit analysis. But guess what, Rick? That ain't for CGC. It is worthwhile. It is worthwhile. Cost versus potential profit is worthwhile for them. They're raising the cost and they're increasing their profit margin, and they're not losing customers. Or if they are losing a couple here and there, they're still gaining more. If CGC is increasing their prices still, believe me, it's worthwhile. It is way more beneficial for them to keep doing this right now, and they're going to keep doing it. Guarantee you, next year we're going to be here again. CGC raise their prices again. Watch. Watch. Now, good. Now, does this mean that graded comic books are inherently going to now be worth more money, Junior? Nope, they're not. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't directly correlate. I'm not saying there might not be overlap. There always is. You always got to consider cost of what goes into the product that you're selling. But I see more and more books selling for under cost. This is not going to mean that the value of your book is going to go up. And a big factor of that is simply because of demand. Here's the thing. Those people that want to spend money on getting their comic books graded, they're still pumping out more money than a lot of collectors right now simply on buying books because of the economy right now. And it doesn't it doesn't correlate. They're not connected by the hip. You take a book like UF4 that has lost about 35% of its value over the last year. You think that just because it's going to cost somebody, what, $20 more to grade this book, that's going to add some type of percentage on top of the value of somebody buying a graded UF4? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, what this can affect long term with us seeing more and more price hikes for graded comic books, I don't know. But inherently, they don't correlate. They're not going to correlate like that. Moon Knight, this has nothing to do with CGC raising prices, but there's already more and more $4.99 books. We are already seeing it with lower page counts. Yep. So do you think now what will happen with CGC raising the price? Do you think Marvel and DC and all these other comic book companies going to do the same? No, I don't. Again, to what I just showed, this has nothing to do with Marvel or DC doing anything. If Marvel or DC want to raise of comic books, that's going to be on them. Now, here's the thing. Somebody just said about, I think it was Rick saying, you got cost benefit analysis. Is it going to bring me more revenue and increase my profit margin if I raise the costs? Do I find that that market equilibrium to where I can still maximize my profits? Now, if you have a dying industry, which is the production of new floppy comic books, raising those prices might be because of them trying to squeeze revenue out of buyers that might be aging out of the market. So if they're saying I need to raise my $3.99 to $4.99, it might be because they're saying, well, right now we're an X amount of customers every year. Print run's going down, and when print run's going down, what does that do to the fixed cost? Well, it's really a variable cost, because what does it do to the variable cost? It makes the variable cost per unit increase. If I have to print less, it costs more per book. So I'm going to raise it to $4.99. Now they're combating, they actually are combating cost. They're not doing it because they can. Because, well, you suckers are anyways. The rising cost of books have other factors in driving those costs up, because they don't know what they're doing. It's a dying market. More and more people are buying trades and omnis, and you know, people are reading digital, but it's still at about 10-11%. And people are just going more to back issues that are actual collecting comic books, and more of the younger generations are collecting trades and graphic novels and Dogman, et cetera, et cetera. Whole different thing. Has nothing to do with CGC and graded comic books. All right, guys, I'm going to pull out of the stream here real quick. I'm going to give you guys a minute to ask some questions in the chat. and I'll be right back to wrap up. All right, guys. All right. I'm gonna be wrapping up here. I'm starting to feel it. I'm still sick, guys. When I cough, it feels like I have glass in my throat. But I want to get to a few more comments before I leave here. Let's see what Michael says about EGS. If EGS want to be up there with the big boys, they need to put themselves out there, like going to Comic Cons. Tony, if you're still here, I love this idea. Tony, Michael, you're absolutely right. Tony, because the thing that people need to do with EGS is they need to get their hands on the physical slab. GT, what's going on? I just want to say what's up. I think it would be great for Tony and his team, although small right now, to get out to cons. I also think, Tony, what you can do is have representatives like me. Like, for example, if I go to a con in California, I can have some promotional material for EGS, and I can let folks out here in Cali get their hands on some promotional material, bring a couple of EGS slabs, let them get their hands on a slab. So, Michael, I really appreciate that comment, and I think Tony is hearing those thoughts as well. And yeah, I hear you. Thank you. Oh, the one thing that I didn't miss. The one thing that I didn't miss. My number one fans. Ain't that funny? Ain't giving them no attention today whatsoever. Whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, Rick, that's right. $20 increase. Yep. Brendan, with CGC raising prices amid backlash, do you think others like CBCS or EGS will or should follow suit or maybe stay lower? Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. CBCS is going to follow. They've been following suit. I actually believe, and this goes to what Rick was saying about cost benefit analysis. CGC can do this right now, but when do you put a stop to it? It's when we speak with our purchasing power. CBCS can shock the market and not raise their prices. They could. Because guess what's more important than instant increase in revenue or profit margin? Market share. Market share. CBCS can come out and do the unexpected and keep their prices low and start gaining more market share. But they're not. I don't think they are, by the way. That's my opinion. But EGS, I think EGS for right now definitely has an upper hand because they need market share. EGS needs market share more than any of the others. I think right now EGS stays at the price that they stay. You know, I do think that it's inevitable that prices of anything increase. You know, goods are going to cost. I don't see EGS keeping their prices where they're at forever. But even with their proprietary cases, they didn't raise their prices. And I think they could keep doing that for the time being. But, you know, EGS is a company that needs to look at their books. And a time might come where they increase it, but they might increase it just a little bit. It might be more affordable to go to EGS for whatever reasons you want to send them your books. Nicholas, what's going on, man? All right, guys. Last comment of the day. Actually, I'll read this real quick. Tony does say, EGS will not be raising prices anytime soon. Good to hear, Tony. You can have CBCS grade 2 books valued up to $4K each and still have $10 in your pocket compared to what CGC will charge for one. Como, thank you. That is great, great news. So I hope, look, guys, look, you want to tell CGC that we're going to speak with our purchasing power. Look at what Como just said right here. You can basically spend the same amount of money on 2 high-valued books, sending it to CBCS. You can double your money for this tier. There you have it, guys. Guys, as always, I'm going to say this. It's been awesome. I hope to continue to be here more and more. I missed it. I missed you guys. This was a great, great discussion today. I'm going to go blow my nose in a tissue and cough up a lung. But again, guys, I appreciate everything, man. For me, it feels like it hasn't been 4.5 months. But I love it. It's beautiful. Hope to see you guys Friday on Whatnot. Just come hang out and support. That would mean a lot to me. You don't even need to buy anything. But there'll be a lot of deals. Like I said, a lot of $2 starting bids for some awesome variants. I will have some silver and bronze and copper as well, scattered here and there. If you're not subscribed, please do, guys. Help support. I hope to hit 13,000 subscribers soon. I've been hurting. I've been losing a lot of subscribers because I just haven't been working, but the work's coming back. I'm putting in the time and energy. I got a new video that I'll be filming tomorrow as well. I picked up a pretty big key. So I'm very happy about that, and I can't wait to show all of you guys. Keep supporting. Combo Book Cannon link below. My Whatnot link is below. Follow me on Instagram. And I'm selling a lot more books, guys, and I'm selling stuff out of my personal collection. I'll be posting a lot of claim books on Instagram as well as utilizing Whatnot still. So thank you all for hanging out this afternoon. I appreciate you guys. And stay posted. Stay tuned. Be well. And until next time, peace.